meow, 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 meow. Hi. Welcome back. This is Blep Panther's Calming Cat Chat number 3. Can you believe it? If you've been with me before, welcome back. If you've not, then welcome. I dressed up as a cat for you. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Look, I've got a tail. Isn't it adorable? Swish, swish, swish. I know. And sparkly ball of wool. I'm going to sit here and play with it while I talk with you, because I can. I know, right? When I put his ears, little felt ears, oh my god, I can't stop touching them. They're so felt. When I put his ears on, I turned around and my cat was sitting there, my actual cat, was sitting there looking at me like, mother, this is so embarrassing. Like, what are you doing with your life? Honestly, am I going to have to stage an intervention? And I was like, you know what, Bimmy? We have to take our pleasures where we can at the moment. Like, you just don't judge me. Do not judge me. And he left the room. He was like, I don't want to be in this video today. It's just embarrassing. I've gone off. Who even knows if he'll come back? So I'm just going to have to sit here. You're going to have to put up with me in Calming Cat Chat number 3. Who even knows if he'll come back? I have a literal treat tucked up my sleeve. So maybe that'll entice them back later. Who knows? Well, there's been a lot going on, hasn't there? Let's face it, the last week or two. It's been a lot. I've been thinking a lot. I've been mulling over a lot. And, I've been thinking about this thing called self-care. I've been thinking about this term that gets used a lot in chronic illness called, like, being a warrior. And it sounds a bit kind of cheesy, doesn't it? Like, it's this thing that, like, warrior, are you really a warrior if you have chronic illness, like, just for kind of existing? A bit cheesy. And then I was kind of like, do you know what, actually, if you are managing to get through your day with an enormous, unthinkable, unspeakable amount of pain and fatigue and God knows what other symptoms, and you are not being crushed by that, and you're existing day after day with those symptoms, then you are a goddamn warrior, actually. Because being a warrior is not always the big thing, the huge thing. It's not always the big showy, tell everybody about it on Facebook, make a movie about it, running into the big, epic, very photogenic battle. Look how, what a clever thing we did. Look how terribly impressive, dine out on it for the rest of our lives thing. Sometimes it's not showy. Sometimes it's every day. Sometimes it doesn't write itself out very well on Facebook. Sometimes it's not something that you tell people about. Sometimes it doesn't make a very good movie, does it? I got up today, got out of bed, had a shower. That was what I could manage, really. Then I got back into bed and had a little sort of warm snuggle up with my hot water bottle and the cats. Couldn't really manage anything more, fell asleep. Don't really sort of, it's not like it writes itself. God, this movie's brilliant. I'll totally watch the hell out of that. Not really, that doesn't really sound like much of a warrior. But you know what? It really is, actually. Because if you can do that when your whole body feels like, it can't do those things, but you make it anyway, that is being a warrior. And a at the moment, not everybody in the world has a chronic illness, thank God, but we're having this huge international moment of crisis, and people are really scared, and it is a huge thing for people to just get out of bed and perform their daily tasks and get back into bed at the end of the day. And I kind of think like pretty much everybody is just being a warrior right now. Hello, don't eat my tail, there's a cat hanging off the end of my tail, Jesus. Expect the unexpected right now. I am. Why would you do that? Oh, well, dreadful. Awful things happening everywhere. There's cats on the end of my tail. Jesus. So what I'm saying to you is that you're a warrior just for getting through the day right now. We all are. And I think that we deserve to treat ourselves the way that we would treat somebody who was a goddamn hero. And that brings me around to this whole thing that we call self-care. Self-care, it's been marketed to us, hasn't it? It's been wrapped up and handed back to us on a plate with a £40 price tag. And that bothers me. It bothers me because you don't have to buy it. It doesn't need to be marketed to you. Self-care isn't a purchase. It can be. It can be, if you want to buy yourself something because you're like, oh, I need that thing, that is a loving thing to do for myself. I need that thing and it will make me feel better. Then, go for your life. But sometimes an act of self-care is choosing not to purchase something because it's not in your budget. Self-care is treating yourself, your body, your mind, your heart with love. Self-care is believing that you are worth something, that you are valuable, that you are loved by yourself. And if you are sitting here watching right now and you're thinking, well, why would you not treat yourself like you're worth something? Of course you would do that. Then I am so happy for you. That is a brilliant thing and that makes me happy. And if you're hearing me and you're thinking, God, like talking to myself and treating myself and acting and to myself and treating my body and my mind as if I cared about it, as if I cared about my body and loved it and treated my heart like I valued my emotions. If that sounds radical or difficult or uncomfortable to you, then you are the person who I am hoping will hear this, and I am happy that you are taking in what I'm saying to you right now because you need to hear it the most. Self-care can be radical. It can be every day. It can be simple. It can be complicated. It can be as everyday and simple as just, I need a bath right now and there's 100 other things to do, but do you know what? I actually care about my needs, so I'm going to make the time to do that. It can be as complex as I have sat down and spent an hour thinking about what my health goals are, and I've decided to take the time out to go and visit the doctor and talk to them about something that's been bothering me for a while. It can be all of these things, and sometimes it can be staying in bed for the whole day because you're sick and you need time to rest and recover. Sometimes it can be getting out of bed and not staying in bed the whole day because you have depression and you need to get out of bed and get up and do something, because staying in bed isn't good for you when you're in that particular stage of your depression cycle, and only you know that, and it's your choice. And I think that it's so important to consider how you are going to act towards yourself, and whether it is a loving way or not. If you were your own best friend, if you loved yourself, how would you act? Would you give this thing to yourself? Would you take this time for yourself? Would you do this thing? Would you not do this thing? Would you buy this thing? Would you not buy this thing? Is it a loving act? There is something to be said for putting yourself first. Sometimes it gives you the peace inside that you need in order to be kind to other people. It's very hard to be genuinely kind to other people when you're not at peace inside your own self. I wanted to tell you about a very, very sweet thing that happened around here recently with the cats. Not my cats, fortunately. And first of all, I want to say this all works out well. So don't worry, it's got a bit of drama to it, this story. It's very exciting. There's some drama. There's a little bit of upset. But don't worry, everything works out all just fine in the end. Okay, so you don't have to be scared. So there's a little cat around here called Pixie. We haven't really seen her before, but there was a little story put on our local Facebook group, our little cat local Facebook group, to say, oh, our little cat Pixie, she's gone missing. So 2 people who live just up the road from us, they'd gone on holiday and they'd had somebody, a cat sitter, come in and look after their cat while they were away. But just on the last day that they'd come home, and the cat sitter had seen her in the morning, but then they came home and she was missing that day. And we'd seen Pixie, like she'd come into our garden, and like the few days just leading up to them coming home, we'd seen her. We'd seen Pixie like come in, doof, 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 like going around, and she was obviously missing them, missing her people, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna look for my mum and dad. Where are they? I want them. Why won't they come home? So doof 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 doof, like this. But we didn't know that she'd wasn't supposed to be there or anything. We just noticed her roaming, and then we saw these messages saying like, oh, have you seen Pixie? We've come home and she's gone, she's missing. And from the point we saw the messages, we didn't see her. And we were like, oh God, oh no. We heard her mum and dad go round all the neighbours. We could hear them asking, like, have you seen her? Please check all your sheds and stuff. And saw them posting on the Facebook group, and we went outside and looked around. There wasn't really anywhere she could be in our garden. And they were calling, and we went outside to help at one point because there was they thought that they'd seen her, but they thought she might be behind a shed in our neighbour's garden, but she wasn't. We went out to look. We were talking to her, talking to their parents, and sort of having a look down and seeing, but she wasn't there. And then and I heard Pixie's mum saying to Pixie's dad, like, oh, who cares about that? Our cat's missing. a sort of cross, I don't care, I'll do anything to get my cat back, sort of a voice. I was like, you go, that's what I'd do if my cats were missing too. And the next day they were up and out, like knocking on doors, at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something. And I was like, yeah, that's totally what I would do too if my babies were missing. And then it all got very dramatic. Like I was in the bath, but I could hear them out the window saying like, oh, Pixie, we found Pixie. Yes, we found Pixie. And it was like super, super exciting. Hello. Yes, it was exciting, wasn't it? Yes, it was very exciting. And then we saw like a message on the Facebook group saying Pixie's come home and she's no worse for wear. Like she's a bit clingy, but Pixie's just fine. Yes, that's right. Come on up. Come on. Yes, look, there's this little cat here and he's very sweet. And and Pixie came home just safe. And we've seen her a few times since. And it's really nice because it's like, oh, Pixie, you came home and you're just fine. And the moral of the story is, people will always help you get home if you want to come home. There's nowhere that you can be lost where people won't help look for you. Hey, Crumb. Guess what? Guess what? I might have something for you. If you came up here. Guess what? Oh my God. What is it? What if it was oh, look who's here. What if it was hello? Hello? Hi. Someone else has joined me. Hi. Meow. What if it was a treat? What if it was a treat? Sudden excitement and madness. Oh my goodness. How will you get to the treat though? And people won't even be able to see. I have to turn the light on, won't I? Turn the light on. Oh my goodness. People will be able to see now, won't they? They'll be able to see you. Yes, they will. Yes. Oh my God. Don't eat that. That's a bit of plastic. Oh my God. I'm being eaten by a giant cat. Feral child. What about Crumb? There, give her some. There. Oh, feral. Just, feral. Feral. There, give Crumb some. Feral. Treat. Yes. You're so good. I mean, when I say good, no, it's gone now. Treat is gone. All gone. Treat is gone. No, feral. No. Gone now. All gone. Love you. Yes, you're such a good boy. Love you. Yes, you're done. Yes, you're done, aren't you? There. Yeah, that was exciting, wasn't it? Oh, very exciting. Very exciting. No, no, I'm going to put this literally into my paw pad glove to hide it. No, no, you can't have it. No, there. No, no, there. Don't fight with each other over it. That's very naughty. Oh, God, honestly, it's chaos. Well, it's very difficult at the moment. Very difficult. Very difficult. Moral of the story is, even if you are lost, there are always people who will look for you and help you find your way home. Now, be very good. Don't fight over your treat. And see you soon. Meow, 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 meow.